Hi, Ronnie. It's so good to
Hello,
see
hello.
you. So
Good
glad
to
that
see
you're
you
here with
too.
us today. So, everybody, this is Ronnie Glynn, and we're just going to do a quick interview today to get an opportunity to get to know Ronnie better. He's currently running for State Senate District 22, State Senator. And so we've been doing a couple of these videos, Ronnie, and we just want an opportunity to know more about you and what you want to do in the veteran community. So can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Okay, yeah, like you say, my name is Ronnie Glynn, born and raised in Tennessee, actually West Tennessee, small community over in West Tennessee. Joined the
I'm just
military when I was,
curious, so sorry to interrupt, but where? I'm from Memphis.
oh, okay, yeah, from a small town called Gates, Tennessee. Population about 650.
Oh,
Not very big at all. I think we had one light in there, and it was a flashing light. So uh, here it is 30 years later, and I go home and it's still the same flashing light. So we haven't grown very much since then. So
wonderful. Well, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I was just curious. I didn't know that
no,
about
no, no,
you.
that's fine because, like I say, it hasn't grown since then. It's still that one flashing light and one little convenience store. Uh, so again, born in a small town in West Tennessee, rural Tennessee to be exact. Joined the military when I was 20 years old. Spent the next 23 years retired as a master sergeant, which I was very, very thankful for that. Retired back in 2014. Through my time in the military, I had 3 deployments, 2 to Afghanistan and 1 to Iraq. One of those deployments was the 15-month deployment. So it was a very long and stressful deployment, but got through it like always. My time I've had various jobs that I really enjoyed. I think the one that I enjoyed the most was actually my job as an inspector general. As an inspector general, you become the eyes and the ears of the commanding general. So listening and getting my feet on the ground and listening to the heartbeat of what's going on was probably the most satisfying job for me, because I really and truly enjoyed being around the soldiers and the men and women and just understanding what it is that was going on, the issues that they faced, and then going back and putting it in the command's ears so that they understood and could react on it. Our biggest thing was to get it right and then move forward. So even during my deployments, that's what I did. I traveled all over Afghanistan, visiting the various troops, the various bases, and just, again, understanding the issues, whether it was the beans or the bullets, whether it was lack of internet service. We know how important that is downrange, that we're able to contact our families and just let them know that we're okay and to know that they're okay. So being able to do that in my career, and that was kind of where my career ended. I retired after that. I felt like that was a really, really good job for me, and I was really thankful to have been able to do that. After retiring, I started my own business. I had a maintenance company that I owned for about 6 years. Let it go back in 2018, and then just this year, I was able to open another business. So I'm very thankful for that. So I've been in that business world for a few years, and I love it. I think being a businessman really allows me to help the community, to grow the community, to have the employees and help them to grow as well. I've been married. My wife and we've been married for just about 29 years. October will make 29 years for us. We have 4 kids and 11 grandkids. So you can imagine Thanksgiving and Easter is very exciting for us. I think it's more exciting when it's over because the kids get to go back home and I get my house back.
Right, yeah.
So that's a little bit about me and as a husband, a father, and a grandfather, and as a retired veteran who wants to do more.
Wonderful. So that's really leads into why are you running? What really kind of said, you know what, I'm going to stick myself out there and I'm going to do this.
Sherry, to be honest with you, the answer to that question is the constituents of District 22 asked me to. I was actually, for lack of a better word, minding my business, and one of my old soldiers called me up out of the blue and said, "Hey, boss," she always called me boss. She said, "Hey, boss, you know, we need someone to run with your background. We need someone who has proven that you believe in the people that you represent." And so that opportunity, just like when I served for the 23 years, here was another opportunity to do it again, not to continue serving the people that believe in me. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to, after having that conversation with her and just understanding that, you know, we as a district, Montgomery, Houston, and Stewart, we as a district really need leadership that's going to speak for the people and speak for the issues that are encompassing us right now. And so that's why I'm running, because she asked me, and as a veteran, she understood the issues that veterans deal with as well. As part of the Women's Veterans of Clarksville, I'm able to work closely with them and understand not just what I feel is important, but what the women's veterans of Clarksville, of Montgomery County feel is important. So again, when you get a call from a constituent and they ask you to run, to continue to serve, to continue to do the things that they know and truly in their heart believe that you can do, you have to answer. And I believe that is the answer, that I really feel comfortable and I really feel that it is my calling to continue serving my community at the state legislative office.
Yeah, there's nothing like that feeling where you know it's coming, and you almost, I'll be honest, once I realized what Veterans Day on the Hill, what a beast to make happen that was going to be, but I knew it needed to happen, you kind of go, all right, let's do this. You know, you're excited about it, but it is kind of like, oh man, you know, you feel driven to do it. And I think you're right. It's a calling.
Yeah. And given that background as an IG, of understanding that, you know, as an inspector general, your job is to feel the pulse of the soldiers, feel the pulse of what's going on. So, you know, she understood that was something that she felt that I was really good at, and I felt it too. But again, to get asked by a constituent, and then once you get that ask and you feel, yes, this is where I need to be, because along with that, you know, there are other community activities, being part of the Big Brother, Big Sister program for the last 3 years, being a small business owner. You understand that there is a calling and that there's a need. And when someone asks, again, you have to answer. That's what's embedded in us as veterans. We do not turn our back on those who ask us to lead and ask us to lead.
And Chris over at Big Brothers and Big Sisters always needs male volunteers.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Always, yes.
I am proud to be part of that organization. I've enjoyed it. My little brother is he's definitely a handful, but but I love him to death. He is he's a good guy. I love him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pick him up today.
Oh, nice. So, you know, speaking of Women Veterans of America and kind of how you were called to do this, what do you want to see happen in the veteran community? Like, what do you feel like you can help make happen to problem solve or create solutions for our veteran community?
You know, I think a couple of issues that are really pressing the veteran community is hiring and more healthcare providers at the VA clinic. Hiring, I believe, is the biggest thing, especially given the COVID pandemic that we're going through now. As service members get out and they've served their time and they've done it honorably, the jobs that we so many qualify for, so many are well skilled to do, they're not getting hired for that. I think part of that is because there is this perception that we are built into this system, and it doesn't allow us to really transition, or our way of thinking doesn't allow us to transition into the civilian world. And so I think when we get that and we create that resume that really speaks to the community that says, my skill actually transform to the community, to the civilian private population, then people will understand that as an inspector general, just to use my job as an example, it's to investigate. So we can take that skill set and then go into an investigative job at a mid-level position. So I think hiring is a big pressing issue, just making sure that when we get out, when veterans get out, that they understand and that their skill sets relate to the private sector. In terms of more providers at the VA, that's been a problem, I believe, even down in Nashville, is finding quality providers. So we have to create the resources and the what's the word? We have to be able to bring those providers in and make sure that our veterans are being taken care of from a mental health perspective. So those are the two most pressing issues, and we have to make sure that we're taking care of that and providing the resources necessary for our veterans to prosper in the district. And so that's my two biggest.
Well, those are definitely two important issues. I'm curious, at a state level, what do you feel like you could help foster to provide more physicians to the VA?
Conditions?
Physicians to the VA?
Oh, absolutely. I believe I was actually in the VA clinic the other day, and I went just for a small test real quick. But in putting those positions, expanding that VA, expanding the clinic here is so important. Again, we are the epicenter of the military. I mean, when soldiers get out, they retire here in District 22, Montgomery, Stewart, and Houston County. And so to have to go all the way to Nashville, even all the way to Murfreesboro just to see a pain specialist is ridiculous. We have to bring that here. This is the epicenter. This is where everyone is going. This is where everyone is retiring. So yes, at a state level, can we make those resources available so that we can put them in the VA clinic? More providers, more specialized providers? Yes, we can. And that's what we have to do. And we have to make it accessible, even if we cannot, if they cannot get to the soldier fast enough. We have to continue to make it accessible that they can see even the civilian doctors, and not 120 days later, 90 days. We have to make it to where we're getting appointments within the first 30 days of the request.
Yes, well, the coalition has worked with legislators. We've been blessed that many of our local legislators are veterans, and they have always had their, door open and ear available to the coalition. And could we expect that from you as well?
Oh, absolutely. As a veteran, I believe that the biggest fight we have is being at the table. We cannot make changes if we're not at the table. So putting a veteran in our legislature who can actually speak the language of the veteran, who actually has been on the ground with the veteran, who understands the pulse of the veteran. We have to be at the table. And if we're not there, we're going to lose every time. So yes, I will absolutely work with the coalition to make sure that the coalition issues and concerns are heard, and take them to the legislation and fight tooth and nail until we get it passed.
Well, that's very good to hear. We've been talking about many different things, but what is important to you that people know and understand about you? that maybe they might not realize?
I think the biggest thing people need to understand about Ronnie is I care about people. I care about everyone that I come in contact. It's kind of like going to the grocery store, you know. If the clerk behind the counter is having a bad day, we don't need to add to that. We need to find a way to say, hey, you know, it's going to be all right. So for Ronnie, being a people person and understanding that when you represent the people, you represent the people and not a personal interest, not an interest from someone in Washington, D.C., not an interest from someone who's not on the ground. You have to be on the ground. And I believe that to be wholehearted. I want to understand the issues. I work with the women's veterans of Clarksville. I work with many different veteran organizations just to understand the issues that they endure and how to make those issues become fruitful. So again, working with everyone, the veterans, and understanding those issues, that's the one thing I want people to understand, that I care about people, I care about the issues, and I care about you as a person.
That's nice. Well, you know, I really appreciate you taking the time to really just let us know more about you and what you stand for. And I really look forward to hearing more from you in the very near future. We'll be reaching back out as time gets closer, and I know you'll be out and about. So good luck to you. And
thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you so much for having me. And I definitely look forward to talking to you again in the near future.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.